to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you how to tell if your hair is moisturized. So one of my subscribers had asked me on my green tea stop my shedding video. Her name is Lady Ray Ray 14. Hey girl. She said, can you do a video on how to tell if your hair is moisturized, or what is moisturized hair supposed to feel like? I tried researching this, but I only get videos telling what dry hair is like. So that's a very good question. I'm gonna just break it down first. So she said, can you do a video on how to tell if your hair is moisturized? Okay, so I would break this down to 3. So, okay, so you will know your hair is moisturized. Let's see, it's like a hard question, because it's a very good question, because it's like you really have to think about how it is. So you will know your hair is moisturized. I don't even know how to answer the question right. Like, I had to think about it. Like, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna have an answer. It's very hard to explain. So, okay, how's this? I know. Your hair is moisturized when you have a lot of elasticity, meaning if you snug on a strand, it bounces back. Your hair is moisturized, it's not breaking. So obviously my hair is in twists right now, so I can't really demonstrate very well. But like, if I were to take my twist out and pull a strand, you probably can't see that, and were to like tug, it doesn't snap. Now that has to do with elasticity, but if your hair was dry and brittle, it would snap right off. Okay, so if your hair is very moisturized and healthy, it's going to have that bounce back. It's going to have more stretch to it. So that's a way that you can tell if your hair is moisturized. Another way to tell if your hair is moisturized is really honestly, what I want to tell you is what you're doing to it. So if you have low porosity hair, meaning your cuticles are closed shut, that means you will need heat to open those cuticles to allow that moisture into the hair shaft. So my suggestion for things that are moisturized is, say, this Shea Moisture. I have this hair mask, so I use really thick conditioners in my hair, and I sit under a hooded dryer for an hour, which allows the moisture in this product. So the moisture is basically, the first ingredient is always going to be water. So let's see, what are the ingredients in this thing? Okay, water, obviously, and then the next one's coconut oil, and then the next one is something I can't pronounce, and the next thing is shea butter, vegetable oil, mafira, rice protein. Oh, this has a protein in it, I didn't even know. Okay, so anyway, so all these like oils and moisturizing like factors, meaning like it has water in it, because water is a moisturizer. This is going to insert into the shaft of my hair, right? So when I rinse it out, it's already in the shaft of my hair. Even though on the outer surfaces it has been removed, the moisture is in the shaft of my hair. By the way, my hair is still warm at this point, so it means the cuticles are still open, meaning that the moisture can come out. So then I have to move on and do my styling product, which I like to add more moisture on top of my hair, which is an added layer on the top of the shaft of the hair. So I like to use the Camille Rose Almond J. This is a good moisturizer. Again, the first ingredient is, this is deionized water. Next one is BTMS, which I'm sure is a coagulating type of thing. The next thing is almond milk, and so on and so forth. So all these things have moisture properties in it that sit on top of the shaft of the hair. Then I lock in that moisture. So you know how like if you were to put water in a bottle and then put oil in the bottle and shake it up, it'll mix up, but then it'll separate, and the oil would always sit on top because it has less density than water. So water's on the bottom, the oil's on top. So because the oil's on top, it's trapping that water from reaching the top of the bottle, right? So the same thing kind of applies with hair. So that moisture, the water, is now inside your hair, outside your hair, and you have to lock in the moisture, because if you don't, it will evaporate. Like water naturally evaporates when you're out and about. If you leave a cup of water on your table, the water will disappear in a couple of days, right? So if the water is on your hair, right, you have to put something on your hair to lock that water on your hair. So what I like to use is my butter oil mix, which I'm actually running out of my big old tub that I usually have. I have to make some more. And this has a lot of oils in it, butters. I mean, you don't have to use a thick butter. If your hair is finer than mine, you don't have to use a thick butter. You could use like almond oil, grapeseed oil. Those are lighter oils, but nonetheless, it's still an oil, and you're locking that moisture in. You will feel it. It will feel soft. It will feel supple. It will feel have stretch to it. So if you pull, it has bounce back. And your styles will last longer. If your hair is moisturized, that's another thing. Your styles will last longer. My styles last up to 7 days, so that's a good amount. If your last styles are only lasting 1, 2, 3 days, you might need to incorporate more moisture into your hair. Another moisturizing thing I like to use for my styler, so when I do my wash and goes, obviously I use Kinky Curly Curling Custard. The first ingredient is botanical infusion of water, then horsetail, then chamomile. This product has a lot of natural ingredients, a lot of moisturizing ingredients. Moisturizing meaning it has a lot of water in it. And this gel, I put on top of my butter, so it's like an insurance, like putting on more moisture on top to just pack in that moisture. Like I have a lot of moisture, so like when I wear my wash and goes, I touch my hair and it feels not wet and not oily per se, but it feels like you will feel the little droplets of moisture. I don't know how to really explain it, but it won't feel hard, it won't feel dry, it won't feel crusty, it won't feel like brittle. It'll feel very soft to the touch, and it'll feel very like supple. Like if you ever feel something supple, like if you were to wet your washcloth, right, and then wring it out, let it air dry a little bit, and it's like kind of damp, but it's like almost dry. If you were to touch it, it's like not wet, but it's not dry. It's like supple. Like you know it has water in it because it's almost dry. It's still kind of wet. Like it's not wet, but it's not dry. Like it has that in between. And when you touch it, you feel suppleness, right? Or if you put lotion on and you just like massage it in your hands, and you feel your hands and it feels supple, it feels soft, it feels moisturized. And I know when you're defining something, you're not supposed to use the word, but that's really what it feels like. You can feel that like water, and they're like small particles of water because it's not wet and your hands aren't drenched, you know what I mean? It's just like small little droplets of water, wetness, something like that, where you're like, okay, my hands are not dry, they feel moisturized, they feel supple. That's the only word I could think of. Sorry for my lack of vocabulary right now, but that's how I would describe it. Oh, hold up. Yeah. Okay, so the next part of her question was, what is moisturized hair supposed to feel like? Which is pretty much what I just said. It just feels almost wet, but not wet. It's just soft. It's just this very filmy. Filmy sounds gross, but like you could feel there's something on your fingers. There's something on your hair. It's soft to the touch. Like that's pretty much how I could break it down. But really the signs, like the telltale signs of knowing your hair is moisturized, is your styles are gonna last, your hair is soft, your hair is not brittle, meaning if you pull it, it doesn't snap. But also just keep in mind, brittleness also could be due to split ends. Split ends will make your hair dry because the hair is splitting and these ends are not able to absorb moisture because the cortex has been split in half, so those pieces will become dry. So my suggestion would be to trim your hair, make sure you have no split ends, because that will allow for your hair to receive moisture way better, and it'll allow your styles to last. It'll make detangling easier. So to how to know if your hair is moisturized, aka healthy, is if you have no split ends, your hair is maintaining styles, meaning that it's not getting dry during the course of the week, meaning you need to redo your hair. The detangling process is, I wouldn't say easy, but it's not difficult. It's not like you're raking through it and ripping hair out and whatever. Also too, for people with low porosity hair, you will know if your hair is not receiving moisture if the product just kind of sits on top of your hair. That could mean two things. It can mean that you have an overproduction of product on your hair, and even though the moisture has gotten into the cortex, you just have so much product that it's just starting to now, it can't receive any more moisture and it's just sitting on top. Or it's because your hair's not receiving that moisture. Like if you put product on your hair and it's just like white on top of your hair, and then the next day your hair is dry, your hair is not receiving the moisture at all. And what you would need to do is you would need to sit under a hooded dryer, or while you're deep condition more with heat, and that will allow your hair to open its cuticle to receive moisture. And when you trained your hair to be moisturized, you won't need as much moisture because your hair, it's like I guess kind of like how your body has energy. If you eat like pasta the night before you go to work, the next day you may not be as hungry because you still have like a remainder of like carbohydrates from the night before that your body's running its energy on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. So for example, I have trained my hair to be moisturized because I deep condition with heat every week. So if I decide if I were to decide, or if I were to like, okay, I don't have time to deep condition with heat, it's not gonna make or break me because my hair has a abundance of, I guess, leftover moisture in it already. But you don't want to make a habit of that. You want to make sure you're moisturizing your hair and applying the necessary products. The last question she said is, well, the last thing she said was, I tried researching this, but I only give videos telling what dry hair is like. Yeah, so if you already know what dry hair is like, you know it means brittle. It kind of is one and the same in a bit. Like if your hair is brittle, you know your hair is not moisturized, but moisturized hair will feel soft. It will feel, it will last longer. It will not break off. It will, your styles would look better. And I guess you wouldn't know this until you do the necessary steps to prevent dryness. So like I said, if you have split ends, your hair is not going to get properly moisturized because those split ends cannot receive moisture. You have to cut them off. A lot of times with certain things, you have to like try it for yourself to understand the difference. So like if you were to trim those, let's say you have an inch worth of split ends and you were to trim 1.5 inches off, now your hair is completely like healthy and there's no split ends in your hair. And if you were to deep condition with heat and then put like really good natural products in your hair, like a nice butter, a nice moisturizer followed by a nice oil, and then you were to style your hair, the next day when you touch it, you'd be like, ooh, it's all soft, it's spongy, it gives me a little bit of bounce back. Like I push it and it like bounces back. Like it feels like, I don't want to say alive because clearly hair is not alive, but like it just gives you like that. It's like, I'm trying to explain it in like a way that doesn't seem so generic, but when you touch your hair and it's moisturized, like it just gives you like a nice bounce back. You could also tell by the way it looks. If your hair is shiny, your hair can be moisturized, but that can also be tricky because there are products out there that don't actually moisturize the hair that will make it shiny. But like for example, like when I wash my hair, I don't have any product in my hair is shiny because it's moisturized from deep conditioning. I've already rinsed the deep conditioner out, but it's shiny because I've deep conditioned it. And it's moisturized, and then when I go to detangle it, my detangling process is easier because it's nothing in it. Whereas when I go to straighten my hair, right before I straighten my hair, I strip my hair of its oils, all of its oils, because I don't like my hair being weighed down when I straighten my hair. So when I go to detangle my hair, it feels like so like dry, like and brittle, like it's gonna break at any moment. So if your hair is easy to glide through, you don't feel any pullback like your hair's gonna snap when you go to comb it, then it's probably moisturized. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I feel like I'm like not explaining this very well, but if you find that you can't tell if your hair is moisturized, then it probably isn't, because moisturized hair is a distinct feeling. It feels like healthy, it feels soft, like all the things I mentioned before. If you feel like your hair is those things when you do look up dry hair, then you might want to do something like a trim. I would say a trim would be the first step, and then do all the steps I mentioned to help put that moisture in your hair. And then you have to train your hair, meaning like every week you need to be doing deep conditioning with heat, and do that for like a month, and then feel your hair and be like, oh, okay, I see the difference now. It's a lot more like lively and luscious, and like it just feels more supple. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. If this was not helpful at all, I'm so sorry. But if you are watching this video, make sure you please leave a comment in the description box and let me know if this was helpful at all. If you have any more questions, I might be able to like explain better if I can know exactly what question maybe you are looking more for. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.